Hey everybody, this is the first official episode of Watching Football with El Capitan. First episode I called a pilot because I didn't know if I would keep doing this or if I would even finish that project. So this is the first episode. I liked how things turned out the first time. I learned the hells of matching up audio. I thought I had a way around that, but not so much. I can see I left a mouse there on the 20-yard line. Oh, he's moving away. He got away. Okay. This is the game of the week. Both Denver and Baltimore are undefeated at 2-0. Going into week 3. Denver's ranked number 1. Baltimore's ranked number 4 out of, I believe, is it 26 teams we have? They played last year in the CAFL's inaugural season. They both played in Tier 2. They met in the playoffs, with Baltimore prevailing 21-17. I can't remember if I recorded that game or not, but it doesn't hurt to look for it. Baltimore's got the ball right now. The Paladins made to look, or at least hint at, the Baltimore Ravens. Same deal with the Denver and the Broncos. Play action. Short over the middle pass. I said during the pilot that I was going to look and see about shutouts, and what I forgot to exclude was I have teams that are really, really bad on purpose. Dallas and Miami. So I believe those teams were shut out multiple times. But as far as two genuine teams holding one another to a shutout, I think that was the first one, that pilot from week 2. So I kept my promise there. Denver's turn with the ball. Something I noticed even within the last few months is, and I think I talked about it in the pilot, is the scores aren't nearly as arena football-like as they were when I started this season. It was usually like a 56-49 type game. I watched a game that I captured and put online. Carolina and St. Louis, I think. I think they were tied at 0 until halftime. So I think Danny tightened the screws on the defense there. And I'm fine with that. I like the fluidity of the variability of tweaking how the simulation turns out. And there's a lot of effort that goes into making the game as realistic as possible on his part. I really don't mind silliness, but I know a lot of people do. So Denver's at midfield, and that should be, yep, you got it. So we're at the 25. If you watch the first episode, I really thoroughly enjoyed all the field goals. So we're at least in field goal range. I don't know if that's been tweaked since my last game. Looks like that guy strayed off his mark there, that receiver. I think Cannon is a excellent name for quarterback. I think he's even one of the guys on the splash screens when you start the game. Cannon's one of the guys in super high detail, looks really sharp. They're going backwards though. when it gets to those closely guarded plays like that, it's usually one of two things happen. It's either incomplete like that one, or the defensive back just gets run over. So it's about a 50-50 thing. Converted on 3rd and 20. I believe that was 3rd and 20. Already halfway through the first quarter. I think this is only the second drive, too. Run's not working. And my guess is that Denver's going to score a touchdown here. That's where I'm going to put my money. Especially with that guy opening the... Yep. Axis loves the drag routes, and he had plenty of time to throw. So plenty of time for a drag route. And I was right. I didn't think I'd be right that quick, but it works. I see that if you look on those red boards behind the field goal posts there, that's an advertisement for Windows 10. I think I've seen Target advertisements going on in the corner there. Actual video commercials. The Staple Gridiron Helmets is there. Triton. I haven't been to Triton to check out their stuff. I think my wife would kill me if I bought more t-shirts and stuff, though. I have way too many t-shirts. And I don't really collect things. So, as much as I like Gridiron helmets, I don't know that I'd get a helmet. I have a whole box of collectible helmets in my attic, so buying more might not be a good idea. I believe I put this game in Arkansas Stadium. There's not a stadium for each team, so Arkansas is usually the default one when I have teams that don't have a dedicated stadium. Denver already has the ball back. That was cool. I love that ragdoll animation when they're coming together like that. I think Cannon's just gonna throw all game. Yeah, that's the second run I can recall, and both of them were not very successful. I kind of wonder if the Paladins were gifted the Ravens' level of defense. Another big reception. Justin Cannon's on pace for well over 400 yards, which kind of belies my soliloquy of the games being more under control, but it's partially my fault because I use full 15-minute quarters. So although it gives a more accurate number of plays, the stats are a little on the high end for the offense. And like I said, I'm perfectly okay with that. Young with the catch. Young looks like Christopher Walken. A young Christopher Walken. Another unsuccessful run. I can't stop the game and look at the stats. I'm watching this for the first time along with you, which is tricky to do when you're rendering a video, to render it all the way and not see anything that's happening. But I'll have to check after the game. That one actually got positive yards. Just how many rushing yards Denver has, because it feels like they're hovering in the single digits yards wise. Second quarter starts. Field goal. See, it shows how much attention I was paying. I didn't even know it was fourth down. So 2-score game. That one bounced off the post. That was cool. I don't know that I've seen a football bounce off the bottom post in Access football before. I always thought it would be cool if in real football they made that worth 1 point if you kicked it off or punted it and it went through the uprights. That'd make kickoffs and punts more fun, in my opinion. I don't have the ability to change it in my league. It's one of the few things I can't change, but flexibility is there to make it whatever I want. I don't know what that noise was. Baltimore's at 3rd and 8 already. I think it'll still be close though. That's my guess. Towards the end of the game, I don't see anybody running away with this. Excuse me. Ooh, coffin corner. This is going to bounce. Nope. Went to the right of the pylon. I saw an article that because of the shortage of supplies and the backup of shipping and that sort of thing, the people that make... Oh, a safety. That's one way to get on the board. We were just talking about alternate scoring for football, and I always thought safeties should be worth more points, and they should subtract from the other team's score. So it would be 8-0 right now instead of 10-2. I think I even did that when I ran a fantasy league. But safeties are so rare that I think they should be worth more points. I was talking about pylons and the... Oh, see, that's going to get things close there. He was wide open. I think he put more effort into that leap than he had to that catch there. And they go for 2 to tie it up. I was wondering if they would do that. I didn't think they would do that, but it's interesting that they did. Because this is all AI, so somewhere in the algorithm it said to go for 2, and they did. Ooh, nice hit. Nobody will get a flag, nobody will get ejected, no targeting. These guys aren't real, so we don't have to worry about them getting concussed. We can enjoy football like it was meant to be enjoyed, with extreme violence and collisions. Anyway, keep trying to get back to the pylons. The people that make the pylons are running out of them, and I think the article said there's only like 36 pylons left, and there can be a shortage for college football bowl season. Seems like teams could, lend them out. Like I'm sure UNL has a ton of pylons for practice and stuff. And hey, buddy. Thanks, man.
I need that guitars. I need you to touch it.
Okay. My son joining the broadcast here.
Sure.
Yep, sure. Just watching Baltimore
Sure.
push down the field here. Another that might put them above 0 for rushing yards. And with that, our studio guest has left. That's a shame. I think he thought I was talking to him, but he wants me to charge this Game Boy, and I'm not sure it can be charged. He discovered a cache of broken Game Boy Advances and various other forms of Game Boy. Wants a Switch for Christmas. The way he treats these older Game Boys, I'm not sure that's a good idea, but greedily, I want it just so I can play Tecmo Bowl. Mario 2, some of the older games. It would be like a gift to the family, or one big gift, which is always kind of a bummer as a kid. Although I think one of the best gifts I ever got was me and my brother got a Super Nintendo. It's the first time I got a console that was new when it was new. We had a Atari when Nintendos were coming out, and we had a Nintendo secondhand a couple years after they were a thing. The only reason we had it was because a friend of mine, his mom remarried, and the new stepdad already had a Nintendo, so it was gifted to us for Christmas. So I do have, or plan on having, Tech Mobile games on this channel, the Pioneer Sports channel. I know I'm putting scores on. I made a league for my family. All the people in my family got to choose the name of their team. First name being either their nickname or... Oh. Yeah. Did he hit it? Yep, he caught that. Right on the goal line. So we're starting to ramp it up scoring-wise. See, Denver... See, they'd have to run here, and they're... Yeah, it's slow going. So the Tecmo League. And then I had a long draft of randomly generated Tecmo players that filled the rosters, and then I promptly dropped and abandoned the project. But my goal is to get that on this channel too, as Denver gets into the end zone. I have this theory that the game has in mind about what the difference is between the two teams. So when it's 0-0 and it thinks the teams are pretty evenly matched, it will keep them matched, and then eventually a team will score, and then the other team will score, and it'll kind of start to snowball. The game I was talking about at the beginning was tied at halftime, but by the end of the game it was like 31-17 or something like that. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but looks like McKinney there has 33 yards, so Baltimore is having a little more success running. And then I say that, and they get a TFL. Okay. Look at that. There's only one safety, so they were committed to stopping the run, and they did. So we're almost to halftime. I'm just going to try and roll all the way through the game so I don't have to do a bunch of audio cuts, because I'm lazy. And that's boring. And that's a nice hit. I mentioned a hits montage I was working on for this league. I think I found the file that I'd started, so that project's not completely dead. Cannon's almost thrown 25 balls in the first half. That went into quadruple coverage. But he's on pace for 500 yards. It's a 12-game season, and at the end of the season is sort of a hybrid pro-college atmosphere. I think of it as if pro football had bowl games instead of playoffs and championships and things. But the top handful of teams are in a tournament. There's 3 conferences, 2 divisions per conference, and then there's after the top, much like college football playoff, then there's bowls underneath that, and I think both of these teams will almost certainly be in the postseason. They only need 4 games each to become bowl eligible. I don't really have a hard and fast bowl eligibility rule, though, because of my love of bowls. There will probably be more bowls than teams available to fill those bowls, and I need to get to work making the midfield logos and such. It's something that I know will be fun to do, but getting to where I'm willing to sit in front of this computer when I'm not working, which I also do at this computer, is my motivation's minimal. If I could do it somewhere else, I would. It'd be more fun. 2-minute warning. Baltimore. There's McKinney. Oh, we got an injury. A little injury. Okay, I'm sorry. I regret that. Denver calls a timeout because it's 4th down. And with the way Cannon's throwing the ball, that's plenty of time for him to score. And a 2-touchdown league would be a pretty big deal. Three wideouts, 2 to the bottom of the screen that we can't see. Over the middle. Missed tackle. Yeah, he's still excited about a long completion, even though he's getting darn close to 300 yards. That should be intentional grounding. Yeah, he's thrown 30 passes. I always think of, because he's thrown 31 passes, he's got close to 300 yards. When people were grousing about Bill Callahan, who was a coach here at Nebraska, he brought the West Coast offense, and they called it the 3-yard pass in a cloud of dust offense when it wasn't working effectively. And that's a play on the Big Ten, old school Big Ten offenses, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I always thought that was clever. So whenever there's a short completion, I think of that saying, and then immediately jump to the Bill Callahan barb about West Coast offense, the short passes, the balanced offense. Denver didn't score. So Ryan and the Paladins. Oh, he's open. And he dropped it. That sucks. He was wide open. I haven't caught Ryan's stats yet. Maybe it's because they're having a little more success running, so they haven't. That could be it too. Is not. Oh, there, 123. So he's only thrown 13. 2. Cannon's 30. And Denver's calling a timeout again, and that is all the timeouts, but I wouldn't count it out. It only takes one play in Access football, and you can do it even with a good defensive pass play called. You can still get the one-shot touchdown. Get a lot of those in these last 2 years of the game. That's not going to get it done, though. At this rate, we might have a couple more possessions before halftime. Needs 13 yards to go over 300 for the half. And that gets him close. They're still 3 yards short. Take a shot, Cannon. Or get sacked. So Baltimore's not calling a timeout. Although, if they got 10 more yards, they'd be in field goal position, or what used to be field goal position. That would be cool to see a long field goal. Well, That should put them in field goal position. And now they're burning their timeout. Let's see. They knew what they were doing. Going for it all there. Okay. Screw a field goal. All right, tie it up as time runs out. So it's living up to the game of the week here. You're going to be tied at halftime. I said that a little too fast. He almost whiffed on the PAT there. And this is going to roll through. I'm going to take these extra 10 seconds to drink real fast, pardon me. I was pretty sure Denver started with Baltimore started with the ball, so I didn't pay attention to the coin toss. I don't even know if I cut the video so that you could see it. But strong formation under center, and Cannon's going for that gridiron helmets ad again. 6 yards away from 300 yards passing. Ooh. I wonder if that's the longest run of the day. Give me Holloway's stats. I don't like time of possession stat pop-ups when got another injury along the D line there. Blew a leg. They're punting. I don't like possession stats when there's only been one play or two plays on the possession. So Baltimore, that is a heavy set. I don't think there was a single wide receiver. Whoa, McKinney glitching there. Good stat line for McKinney there. 70 all-purpose yards. I'm going to call it 3rd and inches. This would be a good time to take a shot because they got 6 guys on the line there. Ooh, he was covered. Marshall still caught it, but you get anybody with any kind of speed, especially a tight end, and they could get open easy. So got a little bit of a drive going. See, this we're 4 plays in. That's not a bad time of possession. Stat splash. Going for it all into double coverage. No luck for Ryan. Third and 7. Yeah, that should be a pick. Yep. First pick of the game, unless I'm mistaken. Giving the ball back to Cannon. Might be the longest run of the game. Give me Holloway stats. Come on. Ah. I shouldn't be getting that frustrated. And Cannon fumbles, and that ought to help Baltimore out. At least get a field goal out of this. Turnovers seem to come in spurts, though. There's the patented Axis football swing pass. Third and 6. Oh, Ryan got lit up. The game doesn't have a fake field goal, so we're at least going to have a field goal attempt here. Snuck it in. So the Razorback in the stands there, and I get that confused in my head. That's actually Atlanta in the game that has the the Hog logo stadium. So this is technically Atlanta Stadium, but we're pretending it's Denver's. So the 3-point lead makes it interesting. Makes me doubt there'll be an overtime, which was revamped for this year's game. I thought the existing one was interesting in that there were 1-minute overtimes, and even starting with regulation, once the game ended, you just kept playing. And then if you scored, then I think the other team had whatever was left of that 1 minute to score themselves. And you just keep playing those 1 minute little mini quarters until the tie was broken. I don't recall exactly how overtime works now. I think it might be, if I had to guess, the NFL's version where both teams get a possession and then it's sudden death. So one of these teams is going to come out of here with their first L of the season. Holloway finally found a way to get 10-yard chunk there. But he had to do it with a catch. Ooh. He rolls his way, ragdolls into the end zone. Oh, there we go. 18 rushes for 24 yards. So he's having... They're not giving up on the run, but that's darn close to 1 yard a carry. It is in the positive, though. So... See, I think that was short of the goalpost, so... In my fictional league, that wouldn't have been a point. Baltimore's not getting the 50-50 balls there. And Ryan's under 50% completion. Kenny's still working, though. Got 6 yards there. 61 yards. Almost 100 total yards. They let him get the first down. Head injury. Linebacker 94. That's a pretty high number for a linebacker. I'll let McKinney to the outside there. It's going to be a short third quarter if they keep letting McKinney get chunk. He's not going to get anything if they hand it off here, though. And they don't. Smart move. That was good. He underthrew it. That could have been an arm punt there. Marshall over the middle. McKinney gets in there for the touchdown. So we got a back and forth now. Some lead changes. It looks identical to that PAT. Yeah, it looks like Wallace is coming back too. That I almost prematurely called there in the first half. Getting towards the end of the third. Weak set. Threw that into a crowd, but Cannon is not afraid. Don't think he's going to get to the 500-yard mark, though. Unless they really start going back and forth. I say that, and they get this big chunk plate. Willis, I believe that's the fullback. Interesting set there to the right. I like that. Toss it and then have all those receivers and tight ends out in front to block. Still hasn't got to 30 yards yet, though. So a bit of a contrast in styles here. Baltimore's more balanced. Denver's more, well, cannon-like, if you will. Field goal, all up at 27. With a minute left in the third. So we got 16 minutes of game time left. That, yeah, see, those 50-50 balls just aren't working for Baltimore, which tells me that their receivers aren't that great rated because that's how the computer determines who catches it in traffic like that. And then they make a catch in traffic. So got that just before the third quarter ended. Tied at 27. Good deal. Way closer than the pilot game. Another well-covered pass there. Baltimore's passing game is a lot like Denver's running game. Well, nah, Baltimore's had a little bit more success passing it than Denver has running it. But to break the tie, and we're good. So now the pressure's on Denver. Yep, I thought he was going there. Gonna get Holloway's yards, just not by handing him to him. You keep making a liar out of me. Probably his best gain of the day. 6 yards. Off the other end. Yard short. Then Baltimore with the 6-man front against shotgun. That's not good. But they got lucky. He dropped one of the first drops I remember seeing Denver do. They're punting here. Good coffin corner. It seemed like that was way closer than the 8, but you know, Baltimore's the away team, and they're not going to get that. Get the home field spot. McKinney's close to the 100-yard 100-yard mark there. He had the fullback in the flat there. Ryan missed him. That's where the awareness rating comes into play. I doubt that the fullback was high in the progression there, but he was open, especially for the 4 or so yards they needed. So Holloway had to make 2 guys miss just to get a 5 or 6 yard gain. Running under 10:30 left. 50-50 ball. That one doesn't go Denver's way. So now we're at 3rd and medium. Cannon's on his way to making a liar out of me and getting 500 yards. That should be short. In the past, I would say they would try a field goal here, but they're not gonna. I'd be curious to see what the algorithm is now for attempting field goals. I liked the really, really long ones. It might be a thing of the past, though, now. Oh, he was even open and he dropped it. So those 15 incompletions aren't all on Ryan there. That one is, though. Yeah. Looks like the ad rotated. We're selling jeans now. American Eagle. Arm punt. I'd prefer if I'm Baltimore, I'm giving it to McKinney to eat this clock. Keep the ball away out of Cannon's cannon. I'd imagine, though, that we're going to have quite a few possessions before the end of the game here. And if one team scores, there's going to be kind of a flurry going back and forth. See, he sees the guy in the flat, but he wasn't nearly as open as Baltimore's fullback. And we're already punting again. Halfway through the 4th. I asked for McKinney, and I got it. Then it's a TFL. So surely he'd be over 100 yards by now. Pretty much a goal line set there. 2 tight ends. Yeah, he's at 93. They got targets on there too. I never noticed that. And another punt. They only used up about a minute. And as long as there's even a second on the clock, there's time for Cannon to win the game with a bomb. Thompson. 7 tackles. Denver's still determined to get their running back killed. They pass a lot, but they almost always line up under center and almost always go 2 running backs. 194 yards receiving for Christopher Walken lookalike there. That one you gotta catch. Oof. Cannon turned around just in time to take one to the chin. Down under 4 minutes. I don't think that's close enough that they'd go for it on 4th. Although I was wrong about the 2-point conversion. So, nope, they're punting. Now, if I'm Baltimore, feed McKinney the ball. Make them use their timeouts. That's what happens when you listen to the captain. Interesting, though, you have Denver with 7-man fronts throwing the ball a lot, and then you have Baltimore here who just had a 5-man front on back-to-back plays and ran it. I don't like the order they went in there, run pass wise, but yeah. Both teams will probably, I'm going to guess 3 more possessions, including this one. If I was setting a line, I'd say 3.5 possessions before the game's over. The winner probably all alone up there, first place. That was a big drop. More drops as the game's gone on for Denver. Patented Axis football flat route there. Hit the 2-minute warning. We're at 3rd down now. If they don't get it, I'll be interested to see if they punt or not, because they got 3 timeouts. Oh, he picked it. Okay, 3 timeouts. They still need a first down. Baltimore's probably going to still run their normal offense. I don't like throwing it, but taking a kill shot into quadruple coverage. 10 seconds go off the clock. Clock stopped. Dangerous throw, but that'll get him a first down. It's Ryan to exactly 300 yards, despite the 2 interceptions. Kenny, 3 yards. That puts him over 100. I would have let the clock run a little bit more, but oh, Denver's been using timeouts. Yep. I kill the sound when I'm doing the audio, because then you got crowd noise of the playback versus crowd noise of the recording, and it gets kind of surreal there, so I have to rely on my eyeballs to catch the timeouts. That's, even without any timeouts, that's plenty of time for Cannon to score a touchdown and win by 1 point. Snapped it with 7 seconds left. Denver, the #1 ranked team, down by a full score here. No timeouts. 50 seconds on the clock. It seems like there's been a lot of injuries in this game. And they're going under center. They like the pass, but they don't like the shotgun. They looked at on that one. I think that one could have been picked. And right in the middle of the field, so the clock is rolling. But as long as they got time for one play, if they win here, it'll put Cannon over 500 for the day. Clock's rolling. There's no accelerated clock here under, I think it's 2 minutes. No, he spiked it. getting close to calling it here. So, Cannon's got one more shot. Oh, and they do go gun. I think I saw Baltimore in a 6 front, even though they were in the gun. So, Denver's got a new set of downs. Time for 1 or 2 more plays. Ooh. First penalty of the game, I think, though. I think if this was actual football, that would have been a 10-second runoff. But ooh. Yeah, they're not going to get to the line of scrimmage. Have to see who that defender was, but he just saved the game there. So Baltimore hangs on. Beat the number 1 team. Probably move up in the top 2 or 3. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you had a good time. See you next week for the CAFL Game of the Week. Watching football with the captain.